I thought no one but me would come to the laundry room in the evening, so I grabbed the desired thing when suddenly the door opened and I saw my sister. I froze with Megan's underwear in my hands. Hi, my name's David. Recently, I've gotten into a delicate and unpleasant situation. Now my sister Stacy refuses to even look in my direction. But before I was just her cute little brother, she took care of me and we loved to spend time together. What did I do wrong? That's what I'm going to talk about today. Make sure you watch my story to the end. Share your opinions in the comments. Do you think I'm really to blame as Stacy thinks? By the way, if you like incredible stories, I recommend you watch all the videos on this channel. They all have unpredictable endings. People are sharing their revelations and you stay intrigued until the end. I promise, it's never going to be boring. Please, subscribe to the channel. Click the bell button to get notifications and never miss new stories. So, my story. You've probably guessed. I have an older sister. Her name is Stacy. She is only 3 years older than me. A lot of people say me and Stacy look the same, but our personalities are totally different. My sister is the most beautiful, cheerful, active girl I know. She's rarely at home. She's constantly hanging out somewhere. She always meets different folks, and she likes to help people. Stacy has a lot of friends. She gets excellent grades in school, and her boyfriend is just perfect. And me? Well, I'm her complete opposite. Even our parents get surprised at how different we are. Since I was a kid, I've been the most humble guy in the world. You see, other kids had no problems with getting along, but I needed some time to get used to new company or make new friends. I never get mad at my parents. I didn't beg them to buy me new toys or sweets. On the contrary, they always asked me what I wanted. I replied I didn't need anything. I hated being in the limelight. When I got older, I told my parents I didn't want a noisy birthday party. For me, the best option was to celebrate it in a close family circle. I didn't have friends either. However, I got along well with some of my classmates, but we talked at school only. As for other classmates, they scared me away. But it's not that they were scary and ugly. It's because I had no idea how to communicate with them. Well, I watched other guys flirting with girls. I saw how they asked them out. I saw them walking in the park, holding hands, and kissing. But I couldn't imagine myself like them at all. Perhaps you're going to ask me why Dad didn't tell me anything about girls. Simple. My dad left our family when I was 10. There were no other men around, and I was too embarrassed to talk about it with my mom or my sister. When puberty hit me and my body started changing, I started searching the net for answers to all of my questions. I blushed and turned pale, but I Googled various embarrassing queries. Despite being humble, girls themselves really wanted to communicate with me, and that made the situation complicated. They sat down with me at recess. For example, in the school cafeteria, they tried to talk to me. Some of them wanted to work on the same project with me. Some girls really liked the way I looked. Some girls liked that I was kinda mysterious. They thought it was interesting. But even the bravest and most persistent girls eventually gave up because of my brief answers and my sullen face. Of course, my mom and sister got worried about me. They tried to talk to me. They dragged me out to different events. Like Stacy sometimes took me to parties with her. Over time, they realized it was no use, and the best thing was to just leave me alone. I liked reading books, comics, and manga most of all. I can say they helped me to master a rather difficult topic, human relations. Of course, most relations were over-romanticized there, especially in manga. But I understood that life doesn't work like that. One day when I was reading another manga, I suddenly realized its protagonist was like me. He was unsociable, awkward, had problems with girls, and didn't know some simple things. Well, this character explored the world. I did it with him. From the outside, it looked that everything was quite simple. If you want to start talking to someone, just get close to the person and talk to them about things you both like. If you want to impress a girl, just smile at her and ask her out. But I couldn't imagine myself approaching a girl. I always thought she would laugh in my face. Besides, I suddenly realized I hadn't really liked any girl. Well, I looked at my female classmates, and they all seemed the same to me. I read all sorts of expert opinions on the net. I even became afraid that I might have some problems with my sexual identity. So I decided to watch adult movies. You know what I'm saying. I often heard guys at school discussing these movies. They shared different details and even links to the hottest videos, but I was embarrassed to talk about it. So I plucked up the courage and waited for the moment to stay home alone. Then I Googled this thing. The picture on the screen made me blush. My first wish was to close the browser window, but I overcame myself and clicked the link to the video. I thought it was the most humble video compared to the others. I came to my senses only when I heard my mom's voice. She called me for dinner. Well, I watched these videos for 2 hours in a row, and here's what I got. First, I'm okay with my sexual identity. Second, if I kept avoiding girls, I would miss all the fun in life. I liked one specific video, so I saved it on my computer in a secret folder. Even when I went down to dinner, the pictures from this video constantly flashed in my head. I was very afraid my mom would see I was in my fantasies, and I would get into an awkward situation. And I was afraid that Mom and Stacy would see something they shouldn't. So I sat down at the table, distracted by these thoughts. But then Stacy came into the dining room. She was not alone. She was with her bestie, who, looked quite the same as the main character of that very video. I knew Megan, Stacy's bestie, before. She often called on us. But when I watched the video, I didn't notice this similarity. But now? Anyway, I got lost. I couldn't take my eyes off Megan. I blushed. I imagined very interesting scenes with her, or rather, with an actress that looked like her. As a result, I got aroused. I felt ashamed, so I excused myself and said I was already full, and I hurried to my room. Since then, my personal hell started. As ill luck would have it, Megan started calling on us more often, as if she did it on purpose. She was as friendly and nice to me as possible. She started talking to me herself. She asked me different questions, and she was interested in what I liked doing in my spare time. I could hardly talk to her. I tried my best not to act stupid. I didn't want to be that guy who couldn't even say 2 words to a girl he likes. Well, after a month of my secret passion for Megan, I realized I was in love with her. Of course, it all started with that video, but I also liked just chatting with her about things, listening to her funny stories. Stacy guessed everything right away. She smiled sweetly and laughed at me. Sometimes she jokingly hinted her little brother was in love, and maybe it would always be like this. But one thing changed it all. One day, Megan stayed with us for a whole weekend. Mom went on a business trip, so she didn't mind. My room and Stacy's were far from each other in the house, so I didn't bother the girls. I tried not to even cross paths with Megan. Well, she provoked, specific desires in me. It was the second day of Megan's stay at our place. In the evening, I decided to take a break from watching a new Netflix series, so I went to the kitchen to make a couple of sandwiches. Guess what happened? I saw Megan there. I wish I'd never seen her like this. She had short shorts and a mid-top. That instantly drove me crazy. I wanted to quickly escape from the kitchen, but the girl seemed to mock me and came closer. Moreover, she asked me to check out her new fragrance. Oh my God. She was standing so close my brain instantly shut down. I automatically replied the fragrance suited her well. Then I rushed out of the kitchen because I thought she was seducing me. It took me a long time to snap out of it, but I had no choice. Well, I needed to go down to the laundry room to pick up some clean clothes. There was a basket of dirty clothes next to the clothes dryer. I bumped into it. All the things got scattered out on the floor, and I noticed something that belonged to Megan. Her underwear. I put everything back in the basket, but I couldn't help touching Megan's underwear. I thought no one but me would come to the laundry room in the evening, so I grabbed the desired thing, when suddenly the door opened and I saw my sister. I froze with Megan's underwear in my hands. Stacy looked at me stunned. Then she noticed Megan's underwear in my hands and shouted, "Pervert!" She left, slamming the door loudly. Stacy hasn't spoken to me since that night. Every time we meet in the dining room or the living room, she tries to stay away from me. Megan also stopped calling on us. I get that this situation looks strange from the outside, but at the same time, there was nothing wrong with it. I was just trying to put all the things back in the laundry basket. But I don't have the courage to talk to Stacy. Mom also noticed this tension in our relationship, but we keep telling her we're all right. Maybe I should still talk to my sister and explain everything to her. What do you think? Will she believe me? Or would she think I liked Megan so much that I decided to take her underwear for... Well, you got me. It sounds disgusting. Anyway, I need your advice. Should I really talk to Stacy? Write your answers in the comments below. Please support me and like this video. Bye, folks. I wish you never get into such an awkward situation like mine. See you around.